Hello friends! I'm excited you guys because... Hold on a second, what's with this music? Come on DJ, our friends want to chill. Alright dude, maybe a bit too chill. We're not here to blaze, we wanna code. Alright, that should work. As I was saying, I'm very excited because today it's finally time to reap the rewards of our hard work. We will use the scanner we implemented last time to obtain the character base pointer. We will then use that pointer to transform our character into a ghost, as well as to teleport at any location we want.
But you know what I like a lot more than materialistic things? Knowledge.
That's a hacking group we've been reporting on that's claimed responsibility for recent attacks.
First order of business, let's take another look at the function we discovered last time. Fire up Terraria, attach cheat engine, go to memory view, view, enumerate DLLs and symbols. Search for the get local player function and jump to it in memory view by double clicking. Here we can see that whatever is stored at some address is loaded into EAX. Then whatever is stored at some other address is loaded into EDX. Then we have some comparison, and based on the result we take a jump to a call. Not sure what is being compared here, but it looks like some error handling, so let's assume there is no error and we do the operation below. At this stage the pointer to our player is stored in EAX and the function returns. In Visual Studio let's create a new function named getPlayerBase. Inside that function we first get the address of the in-game function getLocalPlayer with help of our signature scanner. We then obtain whatever is stored at the pointer at offset 1 from the start of our function by casting it to a dword pointer and dereferencing it. And we do the exact same thing at offset 7. These are the values stored in EAX and EDX in the in-game function. Now all what's left to do is recreate the last operation, which is add EAX with EDX times 4 and another offset 8 and dereferencing what is stored at the resulting pointer. If we did everything right, this should be the player base address, so let's return it. Okay, great, we have the player base address. What we need now is to figure out how we can activate ghost mode. Remember how I told you in the first video of this series that we can access the source files of the game? We are going to take advantage of this now. Let's take a look at player.cs. As we can see, there is a bool variable as well as a function called ghost. As I said before, calling a function in a .NET game is a tricky thing, but there is this variable as well. Maybe if we just change the variable to true, that's good enough. Let's check further. There is an update function, probably the function called by the main loop all the time to update the player. And in this function we are lucky. Here we can see if the bool variable is true, then the function gets executed. Now let's go back into cheat engine and look for the update function and then inside that for the call to the ghost function. Here we go, this tells us that the boolean variable ghost is stored at offset 549 to the player base pointer. Back in Visual Studio let's create a structure named player to store some values. First of all the player base pointer, which we'll name pdis because it's a pointer pointing to the player object itself. Then the offset to the ghost boolean value as well as the boolean indicating if ghost mode is currently active or not. In our menu function let's change the code executed if we press numpad 1. If we do not have the player base pointer yet, we have to get it. After that, if ghost mode was not active so far, we want to change the value stored in-game to true. In memory this means setting 1 byte to 1. If ghost mode was active already, we want to do the opposite, meaning set byte to 0. Then we have to set our own boolean value in our player structure to whatever it was not before. Add a sleep for some milliseconds so we don't get into the function multiple times in a row on accident, and we are ready for a test. After injecting the DLL with cheat engine we are scanning for the function and... well shit, the game crashes as soon as we found the function address. Checking the function again shows that I messed up. I just stored the pointer values into the variables EAX and EDX. We actually have to get what's stored at those pointers. Quick fix, so let's try again. Scanning for the function address again and... Hell yeah, there we go. I'm a ghost. And I can turn back into a human whenever I want. Okay, but we are not done yet. We also want to be able to teleport. So we need the X and Y position of our character. In Cheat Engine, after finding the current health, hope I don't have to explain how to do that, we can check what writes to that address. Here we see that the health offset is 340. If we set a breakpoint at that instruction, we can also see the player base pointer. If we check the memory region after the base pointer, we can easily see which addresses change if we move left or right, as well as if we jump. Since we are trapped in a two-dimensional world, this should be all we need. So let's calculate the offsets to the player base pointer and write them down somewhere. Now let's get back to coding. Let's add the new offsets to our player structure. Then let's add a new option to our menu. If we press numpad 2, we want to set the teleport location, meaning read where our character currently is and store it. For this we need two more variables in our player structure. We also want to make sure that the player base pointer is already set before trying to read those values. Okay, now we only need one more option, which is teleport to the set location if there is a set location. Here we just have to set the in-game memory address for X and Y to the location we stored. I hope at this point you see how powerful it is to have a player base pointer. Back to Terraria, let's check it out. After scanning for our player base pointer, we can now set our current location as the teleport location. Now whenever we want to teleport back to that location, we can do this just by hitting numpad 3. Good stuff, it works. If you guys want me to do any specific hack in Terraria or any relevant topic in general, please do let me know in the comments. But that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, friends, and if you did, please like and subscribe.